I grew up across all over the United States. Dad got a new job every 5 years. So I am LDS, otherwise known as Mormon.
Mm.
So a little bit of background about our religion is we believe that after you die, your spirit stays on this earth, and that you perpetually are here, kind of, until Christ comes again and the resurrection happens, and then after that. So I served a mission in San Jose, California.
Mm.
So you right belly of the beast, like crazy stuff, all this other stuff. And there was a we call them sister, or a lady missionary, and she could see spirits.
Hmm.
So I talked to her a bunch, and while she was teaching people the gospel, she would actually be teaching spirits. So even if the people who she was sitting in front of weren't actually receiving the message, or weren't really cooperating, or weren't really interested, she would continue to teach and teach these spirits around her. So one of my personal beliefs is that all these people who are seeing ghosts and all these people who are seeing these spirits, it's because they have a spiritual gift along those lines of being able to see those spirits, but they're not, they either it's not constantly on, or they're not attuned, or certain things are going on with all these different ghost stories. um so that's kind of my take on the spirits, is that they are actual spirits of people who have been here, who have lived and everything else, but that some people have those gifts. That's why some people can see the spirits and some people can't.
What is the LDS Church's view on all this stuff? Is it taboo?
So no, not really. It depends on it depends on again, this is just me speaking. Like I'm not going to say this is the church's official stance on it,
Hmm.
but it's kind of like we're really open to discussions. We're really open for people to ask questions and do kind of go through and understand these kind of things. So it's one of those things where it's like it's not talked about from the pulpit, but like if you talk to a random person in the congregation, you're not going to be like poo pooed and be like, we don't talk about that kind of stuff.
Right. Like, is there a view of it might that like this is demons and you should be wary of it?
So that's the thing, is for every power there is an equal and opposite power. So like Satan has power on this earth. Like until Christ comes again, until the millennium happens, until there is peace for 1,000 years, Satan is going to be involved in everyday life for everybody, just the same way that the Holy Spirit's involved with everything. Like everything good comes from Christ, but everything bad comes from the devil. Like that,
Yeah.
like Lucifer has power on this earth, and that's something I don't think people understand.
No, definitely not. And then you have to, if you're one of these people who can speak to a spirit, whatever it is, you have to be able to discern what you're talking to, I
Yes.
guess. Because I think it's very tough because, you know, we hear a lot of stories about people were talking with something. And I think sometimes, I think a lot of the times, these spirits pretend to be nice, right? And
Yeah.
conversational. And it's to maybe pull you away from Christ or, you know, from goodness. You know, I think that happens quite a bit.
So that's the fun part about the LDS Church, is we actually have a lot more things behind it that kind of pertains to this kind of stuff than a lot of other religions do. So something there was a lot of spirits going on in the early days of our church, kind of spirit, like angels coming and visiting, teaching people and doing all these things. And our prophet Joseph Smith, he kind of laid out the groundwork how to tell what spirits are good and what spirits are evil.
What
So
can you
he
tell
would
us? Can you
reach
tell
out
us
his
about that?
hand basically and go want a handshake, and what would happen, one of three things would happen. Either they would reach out and shake his hand, and they were resurrected beings. So think Peter, James, John, the disciples of Christ, or anybody who was resurrected when Christ was resurrected. The spirit would say, I cannot, for I do not have a body. And that would be the good spirits. And then the evil spirits would try to shake your hand because they're going to be trying to lie to you, try to trick you,
Hmm.
and their hand would pass straight through you. So that would be kind of the ways that he has laid out, that we kind of can discern which is good and which is evil for those spirits.
I've always wanted to ask, what is one thing people you hear getting wrong about LDS Church all the time?
Oh, the list goes
You
on
guys,
and on,
you
my
guys are the
friend. It
punchlines of a
drives
lot
me
of jokes.
nuts whenever I'm listening to Tim Pool or these other podcasts or Joe Rogan or all these other podcasts. They bring up Mormons, and it's like, dude, there's so many misconceptions about everything. Um, I'd say the biggest one is people not thinking that we believe in the same Jesus Christ. I think
Right.
that is the number one thing that I've kind of heard of people saying, well, you're not Christian. It's like, no, 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 we are Christian. We believe in the same Jesus Christ. He died on our cross for our sins. He was resurrected 3 days later, and he will come again. So
And
I
what?
will say this.
Yeah.
I think with me growing up across the United States, I have a really different view of a lot of people who are in Utah. Um, it drives me nuts. There's a lot of cultural things here in Utah that truly drive me nuts. But I will say this: if the most important thing is you're just trying to do your best,
Well, yeah.
like that's the biggest thing.
That should go for all of us.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about the LDS Church is their amazing doomsday bunker.
Yep.
Dude, you should pull up a
In
picture if you can. Look up
in the
LDS
mountains
Church
in
doomsday
Salt Lake,
bunker.
we have all sorts of stuff.
I have been trying to get in there. So anytime I see a Mormon, I'm
This
like,
is whose church now?
the LDS Church doomsday. I don't know if they call it a doomsday bunker, but it essentially is a doomsday bunker because it's like, isn't it all the records of the Mormons?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of records, a bunch of the church's like gold and different kind of possessions. There's also a bunch of historical stuff in there too. So it's kind of the church's way of like preserving historical items, records, anything that we might need in case of anything kind of
Because
happening.
you guys are doomsday preppers. Like
Yes.
it's baked in.
Yeah, so we are encouraged to have 6 months worth of food and water at all times.
Also, you might know this. The LDS Church, I think, is the largest landowner in America.
Yes. We own, because in the early days of the church, most of the taxes, or not taxes, sorry, tithing that was
Right.
given to the church was not actually money,
Mhm.
it was land. So, like the largest cattle ranch out in Florida is owned by the LDS church.
Right, right. Did you find anything? There's like beautiful images of it from the outside. No one's allowed in it. Although
Yeah.
I've been trying. I've reached out to elders. I'm like, I want, because it's actually beautiful architecture, really
Yeah.
a beautiful spot. But it's you can't find it. It's really wild. It's like in a mountain.
I think the word doomsday is throwing it all
Maybe.
off. So I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get that
if you
out of
look-
there.
What else would
Look
you
up
call it?
LDS historical, I'd say like,
I mean, I see
archive?
something about a granite mountain
yeah.
records
That's
vault.
it. That's
Is that
it.
what
Yes.
this is?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
very
it.
sanitized way of saying doomsday bunker.
Yes, I mean that's another one of our doctrines is that before the end of times we will be called to Jackson County, Missouri.
Really?
So if you see all of a sudden a bunch of Mormons gathering to Jackson County, is stuff's going down.
Okay. So I need to somehow put a GPS on Mitt Romney so I can figure out.
Dude, I hate Mitt.
I mean,
I hate Mitt
I know.
Romney, dude.
He set you guys back. He set you guys back.
Dude.
But you do have the singer of the Killers.
Yeah.
Oh, no?
yeah.
Not good either?
We also have
Dang.
the Imagine Dragons singer too. I don't know if he's active or not.
Okay. I don't know about that one. So
So.
for those watching, this is the article is what is really inside the Mormon Church's Granite Mountain Records vault. And that's beautiful. It looks like a level from the old 007 Nintendo game. Like that's where you would, go fight.
Yeah, the snow level.
yeah.
Like one of the first. I can't remember where
Can you scroll down? Is
somewhere
there
in Russia.
Are there any images of the inside? Oh, there's a video.
This is a 5-minute video.
Okay, we don't have to watch it now. I don't want to keep him on
Actually,
here.
this might just be a screenshot of a video
But yeah,
because it's not actually doing anything.
Did you have any other stories for us before I derail?
So that's the thing about the LDS church is there's actually a bunch of stuff kind of with cryptids and stuff.
Oh, really?
So this is another story. So Brigham Young, after Joseph Smith, our founder, was assassinated, Brigham Young took over the church, and this is a story from somebody that heard it from somebody that heard it. So who knows how true it is?
Mhm.
But him and a bunch of the early brethren of the church were out on horseback. This is out in like the Utah area, or was it Virginia? Or was it Nauvoo? I can't remember. It was either Nauvoo or Virginia, and they were out on horseback, and they saw Bigfoot.
Nice.
And like Bigfoot like walked up and was talking with them, and basically what happened was Brigham Young is get thee hence Cain. So in the LDS church, we believe that Cain is Bigfoot.
Cain,
Like the
Cain and Abel.
Cain, the Cain that murdered his brother Abel in the Bible, still walks this earth today, and he is Bigfoot.
Okay,
is one of the things
I have never heard of this.
Yes.
Please
That's a new
tell
one
me.
for
You
me.
should look it up. It's a pretty crazy story. So
How is
again,
this? How is
from-
this something that
Go
Brigham
ahead.
Young said? Is that where that comes from exactly, or is there like a deeper lore to
So
that?
it was an account of somebody who was with Brigham Young who told somebody else who wrote it down. So
Oh,
again,
okay.
who like maybe not. It might be true. It might not be true. It's one of those things that, you know, it's from somebody's mouth, from somebody's mouth, from somebody's mouth.
Mhm.
But that's one of my personal beliefs. Yeah, I could see it. Like
So-
Cain got the mark, and he's still on this earth, and maybe there is just Bigfoot out there walking around, and it's just one big hairy Cain.
Is there a gospel according to Bigfoot?
A gospel according to Bigfoot. That one I don't know.
If not, I'm gonna write it. No, I've never heard that before, and I wonder if there's any like I've never heard that from all the Bigfoot community. I feel like they'd be into that.
Yeah.
That's a
So
very
look at
interesting connection.
look it up when you guys get a chance. Just look up Brigham Young Bigfoot, and it should pop up with a story with it. It's pretty crazy.
That's incredible. Yeah, I've never heard that. Thanks for sharing that. Did you have anything else for us?
Oh, dude, I have all sorts of stories, man.
How about
But I'll have to call in another time and
yeah,
talk to y'all
yeah.
about it.
Please call in another time. We'll continue this. But that was great. That was a great first call tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate it. I've been listening to you guys. You guys started out with Tim Pool and everything else, and I started listening to it. I always find this kind of talk super interesting. So.
We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for calling
Yeah,
in,
dude.
man.
Bigfoot and the LDS Church. Man.